video live stream podcast. And in case you're wondering what's going on, the question is, did we just see you? The answer is yes. However, we had some audio issues. The only thing you heard in that 17-minute monologue was powered by Riverside FM. And guess what? We're still powered by Riverside FM. Basically, I'm going to have to get some new equipment because there is a connection error going on between my sound card and my laptop. Now, those of you who follow me along, and y'all have heard my claims, #1 podcast in the state of Kansas, and I was doing a lot of coverage on high school sports, and it seemed like this year, I did some football, did some scoreboard shows. My basketball has been very limited. I haven't been able to get out as much as I want to. And I do cherish the time that I did get to talk a little bit of basketball, even show some love down there in the state of Oklahoma. I have gone to a few games. One of the games I want to mention, I went to the Andover Derby girls game. Great atmosphere out there, wonderful atmosphere. It's one of those type of atmospheres, and it was already packed when I got there, just about, where you pretty much have to be there when they let out of school. That's how great the atmosphere there was. Had the honor and privilege that Friday night of having my photo taken with one Bella Bedard, who received an offer that night from Coach Terry Noon at Wichita State. Of course, Derby, the first thing you think of is Michaela Askew. Been following her career since she was a sophomore, starting with a senior upper class laden team. And she's on her way to a 4-year school. Bella dropped a 30-piece on Derby, although it was in a losing cause. It was a revenge game for Derby, but once again, great atmosphere out there. And was able to, like I say, pose with both Bella and Michaela. Great individuals, great representatives for their school and their communities. The following day, I was in Park City for the G-Wall. Give out some major props to, I say this with a badge of honor, my neighbor, Destiny Mays. The girl is a hooper. She's an athlete. She played flag football. I believe she was the quarterback of the team. If I had to sum her up, even on the flag football field from the clips I've seen, she's a female version of Michael Vick. She is ultra athletic. She's listed as a shooting guard during basketball season, but she has the ability to play shooting guard, point guard, and on defense, she's playing flat out a disruptor. And she's shooting 70+% from the free throw line. A few weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go out to Hayesville Campus High School. It was signing day. So I want to publicly, once again, say thank you to Addison Wood for the invite on your momentous occasion, signing your national letter of intent. Play for a 4-year school, so we're going to keep following your career throughout your 4-year journey. But tonight, though, I want to kind of switch things up. Something that I would normally talk about on my In the Zone Sports podcast, but I'm going to talk about it right here. We'll talk about the tanking tug of war and the Browns. That's right, the Cleveland Browns QB shakeup. Once again, I'm your host, Anthony Smith. And today we're diving into the darkest corner of the NBA front office, a place where losing is winning and the standings are upside down. We're talking about tanking. Now, if you follow the league lately, you know Commissioner Adam Silver is losing sleep over this. He's looking at teams resting stars and fielding lineups that look more like G League rosters. And he's had enough. But on the other side of the court, you've got one of the most vocal voices in sports, Mark Cuban, saying, hold on a second. You're looking at this all wrong. So we're breaking down the silver remedy, Cuban's philosophy on hope. And later in the show, we're switching gears to the NFL because Cleveland Browns are making headlines with a major predicted move at quarterback. First, let's get on the same page. What is tanking? In the NBA, tanking isn't players missing shots on purpose. That would be obvious. That would almost be borderline curious if the fix is on. But tanking is a front office strategy. It's the intentional teardown of a roster to lose games in the short term to secure a higher pick in the NBA draft. But Adam Silver, he hates it. According to The Athletic, Silver has stated that every possible remedy is on the table to stop teams from tanking or from bottoming out. He says, we've already seen the flattened lottery odds. Pretty much every team has a 14% chance. The top three teams for the lottery have a 14% chance. But Silver is talking about going even farther, even mentioning relegation like European soccer, where the worst team gets kicked down to the G League. Now, it's a nuclear option designed to ensure every team competes every single night. But wait, enter Mark Cuban. Cuban recently dropped some truth bombs that fly right in the face of the league's narrative. He argues that the NBA is misguided. That's right. He argues that the NBA is misguided. He says the league thinks they are in the basketball business, but they're actually in the fan experience business. Cuban says, and I quote, fans know their teams can't win every game. What fans who care about their team's record want is hope. Hope they will get better and have a chance to compete. The one way to get closer to that is via the draft and trades and cap room. You have a better chance of improving via all three when you ready for this one? Tank. Cuban points to his own history. The Mavs tanked a few times in 23 years, and that strategy is exactly what allowed them to trade up and get Luka Doncic. His biggest point, the NBA is chasing the wrong ghost. While Silver is worried about the competitive integrity of a Tuesday night game, Cuban says fans are worried about their wallets. He argues that a parent who can't afford to bring their kids to a game doesn't care about tanking. They care about affordability and game presentation. To Cuban, tanking isn't the issue. The cost of entry is. So I want you to weigh in. If you're watching right now and can hear everything I'm saying, drop those comments, hit that thumbs up button, like, share. But by all means, drop your comments. I want to see what you think. Now we transition in because we're still speaking of front office moves, and one that has people talking. You have to look at the Cleveland Browns. There's a major report circulating that the Browns are predicted to part ways with quarterback Dillon Gabriel. Now, keep in mind, these are rumors, these are predictions. All predictions don't come to fruition. And if you know anything about the 49ers, they're probably not willing to part with Mac Jones unless the offer is right. Excuse me there. But once again, the word is that Cleveland could be trading Gabriel to the San Francisco 49ers in a deal to bring Mac Jones to the shores of Lake Erie. Think about that for a second. The Browns just drafted Gabriel in the third round last year. But after a rough 1-5 starting his appearances, the team is already looking at external options. The prediction is that the Browns would send Gabriel and a 2026 third round pick to the Niners for Jones. For the 49ers, they get a cost controlled backup under contract for 3 more years. But for Cleveland, this is about bringing in a former Pro Bowler to provide real competition for Shedeur Sanders. And I know right there's going to be some narratives brought up, which we're not going to get into that tonight, because this might not even happen. But opinions already are being formed. And some of them aren't good. Some people are already saying, well, there's the Browns trying to bury that kid Shedeur Sanders. On this one, I say wait and see. Also lost in this, let me get back to my notes here. They still have a $240 million elephant in the room by the name of Deshaun Watson. I know it's probably easy to say, oh, forget about him. Well, he made some remarks. He says, I'm coming back, paraphrasing, I'm coming back, and I'm coming back to get my job back. So let's just say you bring in Mac Jones, you have Shedeur Sanders, because one of the biggest knocks was Sanders just didn't get enough reps with the first team until they actually get ready to throw him into the lion's den, pretty much. Threw him in with no preparation. So my question is, if this were to happen, will all three get equal preparation, equal practice time, equal reps during the off season? But for Cleveland, this is about bringing in a former Pro Bowl to provide real competition for Shedeur Sanders. So just like Mark Cuban talked about using trades and cap room to improve, the Browns are showing they aren't afraid to move off a young quarterback if it means finding a steadier hand under center. Whether it's Silver trying to force teams to win or the Browns shaking up their QB room, the message is clear. The front office's job is never just about the game on the field. It's about the math and the long-term vision behind the scenes. So as I get ready to bring things to a wrap, where do you land? Are you with Silver? Do you want to see relegation in the NBA? Or are you with Cuban? Do you see tanking as a necessary season of hope. And Browns fans, are you ready for the Mac Jones era in Cleveland? Hit me up on social media. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to the A Train Video Stream Podcast, also known as Ride. I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, take care of yourself and each other. Be blessed. I'm out.